So, I've just been thinking about the idea of confidence, what it actually is. My understanding of confidence is that it is the ability to express your preference. So there are two components to this. There's knowing your preference and then expressing it. When something happens and we don't like it, there is a feeling that this is something that we really don't prefer to experience. And as children, we have no problem in saying, I don't like this. So why does the expression of preference become an issue? I think it is because when a person says that they don't like something, it is very often looked at as a confrontation by the person they are talking with. This is handled very often by a negative comment. And this is actually an issue that happens within families. So when a child expresses their preference, the parent can sometimes feel that they are being defiant. And so they talk the child down into accepting what the parent wants them to do. This way, the child learns that if they want to be accepted and to be loved, they must do what they are told. So it is the environment that the child grows up that actually makes them incompetent. It makes them lose confidence in themselves. Because here they are, they have a particular feeling about a situation, and then they're told that they must not feel that way, they must feel something else. So they lose trust in their own guidance system, in their own feelings. They start to mistrust their own preferences. So as teachers and as parents, we have responsibility to guide the children without restricting them. We have the responsibility to show them that there is a consequence to the actions that they take, but ultimately it is their choice whether or not to take those actions. This way we are allowing them to trust their own guidance and know their own preferences. And then expressing that preference. There is a delicate way to express preference, and there is an abrupt way to express preference. I think an important thing is to understand that if there is something that you want, if there is something that you prefer to experience, you can have that experience as long as you are aware that the other person or other people who might be involved may have a different preference. And it is about communication. It is about understanding. For example, if you're offered a particular piece of food and your preference is not to eat that food, you can either abruptly say, I hate this food, I'm not going to eat it, and almost create a standoff. Here is somebody who is offering it to you, and if it is a parent who has taken time to prepare it, then they feel that they must force it onto the child to eat it, or if they feel that it's going to be good for them. The parent says you must eat it, the child says they don't want to. So here is a situation where the child is expressing a preference. So it's up to the parent to give them the choice whether or not to eat that food. They are putting, they would put their argument, or they put their point across, their reasoning why this particular food is good. So the parent might state their preference, which is they would like their child to be healthy. Now this can include eating this food right now, or it could include cooking something else which is also healthy and nutritious, and involving the child with that process, so they understand that it does take time and effort to create a meal, and they can be more appreciative when the parent actually does present something for them to eat. So it's about creating an option and understanding that the parent wants what's best for the child. If the child doesn't want the food, then they can gently refuse. Gently means that they acknowledge that there has been effort and time and thought that has been put into preparing the meal. My microphone unclipped itself. Back on now. So the child and then this connection, this relationship that we're talking about, the parent and child, I think it can be any two people. It could be two siblings. It can be a relationship between two partners or friends. I'm just giving an example because there is often a feel from the parent that they want their child to be good, and they want it so much that they end up forcing the child and make them resist the parents' good intentions. So if a child doesn't want something in particular that they're being offered, they can say, "Thank you very much for preparing this meal for me today. The food that you're offering is something that I really do not like to eat. Is there anything else that we can prepare, or anything else that is on offer? Because right now I really do not feel like eating this, but I am hungry, so I would like another option. Can we think of something else?" In this manner, the parent doesn't feel that the child is defiant. The child is confident because they are stating their preference. They know their preference and they're stating it. They're expressing it. There is no confrontation because the child is not creating a wall between the parent and themselves. Instead, they are creating a bond because they are asking the parent for their help. They are asking for cooperation. They are expanding the possibilities for the continuation of their interaction by creating an opening for other opportunities. If the person who is being offered something refuses the offer outright and doesn't leave a route, doesn't redirect the conversation in a different direction, they're cutting off the communication. They're cutting off the flow of energy between those two people. And if the person who was offering things was actually well-meaning, then they're going to be hurt by that. They're going to feel that their effort is not being appreciated. And then next time, they won't have the same enthusiasm in creating that offer, or creating any offer. So be gentle in how you state your preference, but state it you must. For if you do not state your preference, then you will be following somebody else. You will be led into experiences and situations which you do not prefer, and you would feel trapped. But if you know what you prefer, you state it clearly, and you are giving room for sidestepping, where both you and the person you're interacting with can sidestep together in a different direction. What you're doing is you're freeing yourself, and also you're freeing the other person as well. You're freeing the other person by allowing them to express their preferences. You are teaching them how they can express their preferences as well and lead a life of freedom. too. By being confident, we are teaching others how to become and how to be confident as well.